Good morning, class. I am your teacher in this subject. So I am Jaya May Mabakol, and let's begin our class with a prayer. May I request Arjun Bunglay to please lead the prayer. Amen. So now let's proceed for our energizer. Okay, so everybody sit down. At this point, we are going to have the checking of attendance. So just say present if your name is called. Bunglay Arjun, Baba Isil, Abriel Christian. So since everybody got the perfect attendance, I will give you 2 points for your class standing. So at this point, let's proceed for the recapitulation of our previous topic. So who can give me an overview of our last topic? Okay, so go. Thank you. So great idea. That's the point. So at this juncture, we have to read the class learning objectives of this session. So at the end of the lesson, the students will be able to interpret the movie using the psychoanalytic criticism. So our topic is all about the 12 Years a Slave by Steve McQueen. So now let's have our activity. So this activity is entitled Narrate an Action Scene. So the students will group into 8, maximum of 4 members each. This activity is entitled Narrate an Action Scene. So the teacher gives students a chance to be the movie version of a sportscaster based from the movie 12 Years a Slave. So the teacher will then ask the following questions. So first, what forces are motivating the characters? Second, what roles do psychological disorders and dreams play in the story? So now let's proceed for the analysis. So I will randomly select students who will answer these questions. So the first question is, in the activity, did you include your personal experiences in knowing the action scenes? So this question is intended to Baba Isil. So please answer. Okay, so nice idea. So next question is, what are the steps you have made in arriving to your observation? Please answer, Christian Abriol. Okay, great idea. Thank you. So the third question, from the activity, what evidences you utilized that resulted to your observation? So please answer, Arjun Bunglay. Okay, great answer. Thank you. So the last question is intended to Baba Isil again. So your question is, how will you define the psychoanalytic approach? Thank you. So that's all for the analysis. What is psychoanalytic approach in literary criticism? So when we say psychoanalytic approach, it adopts the methods of reading employed by Freud and later theorists to interpret text. It argues literary text, like dreams, expresses the secret unconscious desires and anxieties of the author, that a literary work is a manifestation of the author's own neurosis. So next, psychoanalytic literary criticism can focus on one or more of the following. So first, the author. Second, the characters. So the theory is used to analyze the author and his or her life, and the literary work is seen to apply evidence for this analysis. This is often called psychobiography. Next, the characters. The theory is used to analyze one or more of the characters. The psychological theory becomes a tool to explain the character's behavior and motivations. The more closely the theory seems to apply to the characters, the more realistic the work appears. So, the purpose of psychoanalytic approach in literary criticisms, first, aims to discover and interpret art in terms of psychoanalytic concepts and processes. Second, in literature, Freudian mythology analyzes characters in terms of their psychological reality as real people. So, this is the analysis of the movie 12 Years a Slave through psychoanalytic approach. So, the author, Northrop was born free person of color in what is now Minerva, New York, though he claimed to have been born in July 1808. In 12 Years a Slave, a later deposition in which he specified his birth date and age indicates that he was likely born a year earlier. In March 1841, he was recruited by two men who claimed to be circus performers and offered him money to join their act as a fiddler traveling south from New York. So the character, the protagonist in the movie is Solomon Northup, a free black man from upstate New York, is abducted and sold into slavery. So the antagonist in the movie is Edwin Epps. So is the main antagonist of the movie. He is a barbarous plantation owner who made a name for himself of being one of the cruelest of slavers due to his relentless brutality. So the main characters in the movie, The 12 Years a Slave, Solomon Northup, the author and protagonist of the memo. So Edwin Epps, Solomon's third and most inhuman master, whom Solomon serves for 10 years. Buzz is a kind-hearted white carpenter from Canada who works on a construction project for Edwin Epps. William Ford, Solomon's first master as well as Solomon's only kind and compassionate master. So John T. Beats is the carpenter who buys Solomon from William Ford when Ford runs into financial troubles. James Birch is a cruel slave dealer in Washington, D.C. who oversees the William slave pen with help from his assistant, Ebenezer Radburn. Next, Henry B. Northup, a white lawyer and is a longtime acquaintance of Solomon and the grandnephew of the man who freed Solomon's father from slavery. So, Mistress Epps is the wife of Edwin Epps and the mother of at least 2 children, though the only one who appears in the narrative is young Master Epps. So, Patsy is a 23-year-old beautiful slave girl belonging to Edwin Epps. Theophilus Freeman is the cruel slave dealer in New Orleans who takes over Solomon, Eliza, and her children, among others, from his business partner, James Birch. So, Eliza Berry, known to her owners as Dreddy, is the mother of Randall and Emily. Ebenezer Radburn works with James Birch at the Lave Pen in Washington, D.C., where Solomon first wakes up in chains of being drugged and kidnapped. So next, Cephas Parker is one of the Solomon's old friends from New York. Then, next, Emily Berry is Eliza's young, beautiful daughter and Randall's sister. So, lastly, Arthur is one of the Solomon's first friends and the very beginning of his time as a slave. The last one, Lou Cheney. So, is a slave from a neighboring plantation who organizes a rebellion only to betray every person involved in the movement. So, thus, knowing and understanding the characters very deeply is critical. Also, identifying the author's purpose helps readers understand what the text is about. So, that's all for our discussion. So, now let's proceed for the abstraction. So, from what you have learned in our previous discussion, did you identify the psychoanalytic approach in literary criticism? So, this question is intended to Aisel Baba. So, okay, nice answer. So, that's the point. So, at this juncture, let's proceed for the second question, which is, what do you think is the significance of determining the psychoanalytic approach in various contexts? So, this question is intended to Arjun Bunglay. So, Arjun, please answer. Okay, thank you. So, let's proceed now for the application. So, the link of the movie entitled 12 Years a Slave was provided to students. Each student was assigned to create a 3 minutes video and be able to interpret the movie through the psychoanalytic criticism. So we are going to create a 3 minutes video based from the movie 12 Years a Slave using the psychoanalytic approach. So you are guided by the following questions. So first, what is the main purpose for the video presentation? Second, which could best help to figure out the purpose for this video making? So, now let's have the assessment. So, in not less than 2 sentences, briefly answer the following set of questions given below. So, these are 10 items questions. So, I will give you 10 minutes to answer this question. So, get one whole sheet of paper. So, your time starts now. Okay, class, are you done? Okay, so, please pass your paper in front. So, we have to jump down to the assignment. So, before we have to dismiss this class, so I will give you first the assignment. So, allow me to read this instruction. So, in one whole sheet of yellow paper, write 150 words reflection based from the movie 12 Years a Slave. So, this questions is an essay type. So, I think that's all for today. So, class dismissed. Thank you and good day.